Forgive me if I'm a little frustrated that some of us are choosing to ignore Donald Trump's gross incompetence while asking Kamala to dazzle us at every turn. I hope that you'll forgive me if I'm a little angry that we are indifferent to his erratic behavior, his obvious mental decline, his history as a convicted felon.
That being president isn't anything like reality TV. It is not an apprenticeship. And it is not just about fiery speeches or insulting tweets. It's about whether someone can handle the awesome responsibility of leading.
Michelle Obama just delivered a powerful takedown of Donald Trump, and the internet is buzzing. With eloquence and precision, she called him a weak man, triggering an epic meltdown from Trump. His response? A series of frantic, all-caps tirades so unhinged that his staff was left scrambling to hide the ketchup bottles. The chaos that followed was nothing short of a political spectacle. Michelle dropped the truth, and Trump couldn't handle it.
We know folks are going to do everything they can to distort her truth. My husband and I sadly know a little something about this. For years, Donald Trump did everything in his power to try to make people fear us. See, his limited, narrow view of the world made him feel threatened by the existence of two hard-working, highly educated, successful people who happen to be black.
Buckle up for the showdown of the year. Before we dive in, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. You won't want to miss this one. Trump's obsession with the Obamas is like a never-ending sequel no one asked for. No matter how often he insists he's moved on, the moment Michelle speaks, he's right back at it, ranting, raving, and desperately trying to discredit her like it's his full-time job. Honestly, it's almost impressive how someone who claims to have won so much
We have a candidate for president who over the course of his lifetime, in the course of this campaign, has said things about women that are so shocking that I simply will not repeat anything here today. It has shaken me to my core in a way that I couldn't have predicted. This was a powerful individual speaking freely and openly about sexually predatory behavior and actually bragging about kissing and groping women, using language so obscene that many of us were worried about our children hearing it when we turn on the TV.
Spends this much time seething over the fact that people actually liked his predecessor. The real kicker, Michelle Obama doesn't even have to insult, mock, or acknowledge Trump. Her mere presence, radiating grace, intelligence, and real credibility, is enough to send him into a tailspin. Imagine spending your entire life chasing admiration, only to realize your biggest rival doesn't even have to try. While Trump rants about rigged elections and unfair treatment, Michelle effortlessly moves forward, landing book deals.
Sick of all the chaos and the nastiness of our politics. It's exhausting, and frankly, it's depressing. So I understand wanting to shut it all out.
Netflix partnerships, and a level of respect he couldn't buy, no matter how much of his remaining campaign funds he threw at it. And the best part, she doesn't even have to try. Because at the end of the day, Michelle Obama knows one simple truth. Nothing infuriates Trump more than a woman who refuses to crumble under his fragile ego. His entire persona is built on a desperate need for validation, yet the one person who commands global admiration without even seeking it is the one who drives him up the wall. It's almost poetic. While Trump rants on social media about being treated unfairly, Michelle is out in the real world making an impact, empowering young women.
With your support on November 5th, you know what's nasty to me? Michelle Obama. Tried to be so nice and respectful. Oh, she opened up a little bit of a box. She opened up a little bit of something. Oh, she was nasty. Ooh. Shouldn't be that way. That was a big mistake.
advocating for education, and effortlessly demonstrating what true leadership looks like. And she does it all with such grace and ease that it only makes Trump's forced bravado look even more absurd. Every time Michelle Obama speaks about compassion or resilience, Trump reacts like she's reading his worst Yelp review live on TV. His response isn't just insecurity, it's full-blown panic. He knows that no matter how many rallies he holds, how many hats he stamps with slogans, or how many times he pretends to care about the people, he'll never have what Michelle has: credibility. The irony. While Trump constantly demands loyalty in
Last 8 years, in his first term alone, Barack had to rescue our economy from the worst crisis since the Great Depression. He had to make the call to take out Osama bin Laden, respond to devastating natural disasters like Hurricane Sandy, and so much more. So when it comes to the qualifications we should demand in a president, to start with, we need someone who'll take the job.
People don't need to be convinced to respect her. They just do. And that's a truth Trump will never accept, because deep down, he knows that no matter how loud he yells, Michelle Obama will always outshine him without even trying. It's a tale as old as 2016. Trump sees someone with real intelligence, dignity, and global respect, and suddenly, he's on a social media rampage, like a teenager grounded from his Xbox. But Michelle, she's a whole different level of infuriating for him. She's everything he's not: respected, accomplished, and most importantly, completely unbothered by his existence. And that last part? That's the real kicker. Trump thrives on attention, whether it's love or hate, but Michelle doesn't even give him the courtesy of acknowledgement. She doesn't waste time on petty spats or tantrums. She simply speaks the truth, drops the mic, and moves on. Meanwhile, Trump is left foaming at the mouth, furiously typing out his latest all-caps meltdown. But the worst part for him, Michelle doesn't just have admirers, she has legacy-defining influence. While Trump's supporters need constant reassurance that he's While Trump struggles to remember which lawsuit he's supposed to be in court for next. No matter how many times he tries to rewrite history, Michelle remains the ultimate reminder of everything he will never be. If you remember, when I met with Obama, his wife was very nasty to me. The other day, oh, that was not nice. She was very nasty. She said nasty things. I was always very respectful of her, but she got up there, which just shows you how nervous they are about what's happening. But she was nasty. 2 days ago, she got up and said some bad things she shouldn't have said, and they were wrong too. You see, those folks, they just aren't very smart, and somehow they seem less deserving. And if you think this way, then it's easy to see this country as us versus them. Let's be real. Trump's rage posts are where the true comedy gold happens. He fires off wild, all-caps declarations like a malfunctioning robot stuck on fake NEWS mode. Sometimes, he even drags in random celebrities, politicians, or completely unrelated topics just to see what sticks. 1 minute.
Michelle hit me the other day. I was so nice to her. Out of respect, I was saying it. She hit me the other day. I was going to say to my people, am I allowed to hit her now? They said, take it easy, sir. Sir, take it easy. My geniuses, I'm telling you, they said, just take it easy. Well, what do you mean? She said bad about me. I can't hit back. Sir, you're winning.
He's ranting about Michelle Obama. The next, he's blaming low shower pressure or the price of hamburgers for his downfall. But the best part, no matter how many times he denies, deflects, or tantrums his way across the internet, the reality stays the same. Michelle Obama doesn't even acknowledge his existence. While he spirals, she's out there doing real work, writing bestsellers and inspiring millions. Meanwhile, Trump is somewhere in a Mar-a-Lago banquet hall, shouting into a microphone about how unfairly he's been treated. And subtle, the cycle repeats, like a bad sitcom rerun. He takes the bait every single time, proving once again that no matter how much power, money, or gold-plated furniture he surrounds himself with, he still can't handle being outclassed by someone who doesn't even have to try. It's a masterclass in effortless dominance. And Trump? He's just giving the world another meltdown to laugh at. All caps, excessive exclamation marks, completely unhinged. It's like watching a toddler throw a tantrum in a luxury high chair. And the funniest part, his followers eat it up. They rally behind him as he spirals, completely oblivious to the fact that the more he screams into the void, the more he proves Michelle right. The contrast between Michelle Obama and Trump is so stark, it could be an instructional video on leadership versus reality TV drama. Michelle carries herself with dignity, delivering speeches that inspire generations. Trump's idea of public speaking, yelling about ratings and imaginary accomplishments while struggling to pronounce words with more than 2 syllables. Michelle wrote a best-selling memoir that people actually read. Trump launched a blog that lasted fewer weeks than a carton of milk. Michelle built initiatives that uplift communities. Trump's biggest contribution, making red hats terrifying. And let's not forget Melania. Poor Melania, who always looks like she's trying to astral project herself out of her own marriage. If Michelle represents a first lady with grace, Melania looks like a woman with an escape plan, just waiting for the right moment. Let's be real. Trump's rage posts are pure comedy gold. He fires off wild, all-caps declarations like a malfunctioning robot stuck on.
Notice that you went back to the White House recently. That you haven't been back.
No.
Since
Wasn't invited.
Ooh, shade.
You know, that's a tradition. You do your official portraits. The next president is supposed to invite you back to hang them. We were never invited back, so these pictures have been...
You see Barack Hussein Obama last night? Take little shots. He was taking shots at your president. And so was Michelle. You know, they always say, sure, please stick to policy, don't get personal. And yet they're getting personal all night long, these people. Do I still have to stick to policy?
Understand that the measure of any society is how it treats its women and girls.
The sitting president, Mr. Trump, thinks your candidacy is an aberration or a joke.
I don't think he does at all. I tell you what, if I would have run 4 years ago, he wouldn't be president right now. I don't think he thinks it at all. You know, it's very interesting. It's very interesting with President Obama. Going to go down to one of the worst presidents in the history of this country. He has been a disaster on the military. You look at we can't beat ISIS.
I mean, the truth of the matter is actually Trump hasn't gotten a lot. He's torn some stuff down. There's no law that he's passed that is transformative in this country. He passed a tax cut to give away some more money to rich folks, which Republicans have been doing that for years. But you can't name a piece of legislation that he's done that has actually changed the country, even for his own constituencies. So it's always easier to tear down the...
Happening. And to come out here and do my normal campaign speech, it would be dishonest and disingenuous to me to just move on to the next thing like this was all just a bad dream. This is not something that we can ignore. It's not something we can just sweep under the rug as just another disturbing footnote in a sad election season. Because this was not just a lewd conversation. This wasn't just locker room banter. This was a powerful individual speaking freely and openly about
the anticipation the energy, the exhilaration of once again being on the cusp of a brighter day. The chance to vanquish the demons of fear, division, and hate that have consumed us and continue pursuing the unfinished promise of this great nation.